Strap in tight, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Hello and welcome to the season finale of our F1 2021 Immersive Driver Career Mode. 5 seasons, 1 World Championship and a Constructors title, and it all comes down to this. A final race decider with our teammate, he's sat right there, Lewis Hamilton, as we battle for the Drivers' Championship around Brazil. It has been an intense season that has gone back and forth, but it is only us two, and 10 points separating us as we go into the season finale. Last time out, Lewis Hamilton finished outside the podium places for the first time this season. He leads by 10 points over ourselves. Now, what is interesting is that there are multiple teams in the fight this weekend. Anywhere down to Williams could be a threat to us. So there are going to be teams that are taking points off us. All we've got to do is outscore Lewis Hamilton by 11 points. Now, the easiest way to do that is to win the whole thing. It is going to be tough, though. Around Brazil, we have had some good results in the past. Last season, we managed to finish in 4th place. Lewis Hamilton only 14th. Season 3, we finished in 2nd position behind the winner, Pierre Gasly, which happened last time as well. Season 2, we finished in 5th place, and in Season 1, we finished 9th. So we've always scored points here. We've always done well. We've never won the race. But I'm hoping that this year we can turn that around and potentially win the race. Our first race since the British Grand Prix. Or actually the Hungarian Grand Prix. So quite a while since we have won a race. So leave a like if you enjoyed. Get involved down in the comment section. And let me know, who do you think is going to come out on top, ourselves or Lewis Hamilton? Let's find out in qualifying. Here we go then, starting our first lap in Q1, and our weekend of intensity starts now. We were pretty good in practice, P2 behind Charles Leclerc, so Ferrari are certainly looking quick this weekend as they were last weekend. A little bit wide through turn 1, that's going to have cost us a couple of tenths, but we shouldn't need to drive the wheels off this thing in Q1 to get through, but I think the times are going to be pretty close, so you know, we don't want to throw too much away, but it's going to be much more intense later on as we are fighting for pole position, and there's always a slight possibility of rain. I see a big black cloud over there. Very wide there again. Purple middle sector though. See, none of the big boys are really out there, but we might have to do a second lap here just to be absolutely sure. A little bit of understeer on this lap, and we come up to the line now. What's it going to be? It's a 105.6, which puts us pretty much level with leader Max Verstappen so far, but there you go, we do go a little bit wide. And this lap is invalidated. I don't... well, we probably will just about have enough fuel for the third lap here. So we'll do a cool down lap and come back around again and see if we can improve on that time.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Here we go again. going to be lap 2 of our run. With a cool down lap that time. A bit deeper into turn 1 and much better through the first couple of corners, and you can see all the time that we are gaining up towards the end of the first sector. Bit of curve on the inside. Could have maybe broke a little bit later, but again we're gaining time all the way up the hill. Through the twisty section, very, very nice. But again, very wide there, and that actually, again, is invalidated, which is a big shame, and could put a bit of pressure on us getting through now. Just about might have enough fuel, but that would have been a 105.3. So we know what we're capable of. Let's head back to the garage. If needs be, we can head out on those tyres again. But already down to 10th. As I said, I thought the top 12 would be pretty close. Below that, though, there is quite a time differential. So I think we should be okay to get through to Q2. And we know that we've got at least a 105.3 in the bank, which would have put us P2 as it stands. So, yeah. But Ferrari's looking good again. Pierre Gasly looking good again. Lewis Hamilton only 4th, so possibly not going to be pole position for him. But there you go, we are easily through. I think that was P11 in the end, and we'll certainly settle for that. Let's make sure we don't go out in Q2. That's really important this time. Well, we're going to try and get through on the medium tyres. We come up to the line. I'm not sure it's actually going to be enough. Oh, it is. It's a purple final sector, but it was the middle sector where we lost all our time there. It was a purple first sector, purple middle sector, but only P11 as it stands. But I think we can improve on that in sector 2. Get comfortably into that top 10, and we still should have time to come round, bolt on a set of soft tyres and scrub them up if necessary for Q3.
Okay, we're currently in the drop zone. We need you to move up into the top 10 or we won't progress to the shootout.
Yeah, getting a little bit of time, not too much though. Only a 10th up, but this should be enough to get ourselves through. So we come up to the line.
One lap of
yeah, 10th place. I'll be able to squeeze a 3rd lap out of it. Better start at sector 2 this time. You see how hard we're pushing here. Gain a little bit more time here. A 10th of a second or so. Ooh, up to 7th place now on those medium tyres, and now we got to look after them. But tyre wear shouldn't be too much of an issue around here. I think we might be able to get round and do a soft tyre run, just in case, because it is going to be very, very close. So I think we need to get out there, be on track, be in position, just in case. Yeah, we are going to be out there and have plenty of time
1 minute to go.
to get over, so need to fully concentrate on this. Make sure that this is the best lap that it can be, because we cannot afford to be out in Q2 again. Purple
Just
sector
30
1.
seconds left in the session.
See how far up we are here. On to 8th.
You're down to P9.
Down to 9th. Schumacher's very capable of knocking us out here. I think Schumacher's the car right behind us, so we are going to have to take this time and put it P2 on the grid. So we're not going to be on the medium tyres tomorrow, but we are through to Q3, and I think that was important. Let's have a little look at Schumacher's time. Schumacher did make it in, so I don't feel too bad in the end that we would have been out, but we did make it through in the end. Very, very thankful that I decided to go and finish that time. So we are going to be starting on the soft tyres, which isn't ideal. I did want to start on the mediums, but hey, if we're on pole position rather than 11th, then that is definitely worth it. Here we go then. This is our pole position lap, first run at it. Of course, this is going to probably be more of a banker time than our absolute ultimate pace, but it still should be good enough to get us right up there. Nearly too wide there, but we just dropped off the throttle. Not there though. So we're gonna slow it right down and go again. But that puts us slightly out of sync with the rest of the guys. Okay, take 2. Let's try again.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
We nearly lost it into turn 1 there. We're okay, pretty much matching our time from before, which is 3/10 quicker than Lando Norris. This is pretty good so far. So 3.5 tenths quicker than Mick Schumacher in 6th place, so this should be good enough for top 4. Here we come, up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 105.1, which puts us 4th place at the moment. So just behind Lewis Hamilton, just behind Charles Leclerc, ahead of Perez and Ocon though, so Verstappen must be on pole. But this is going to be a really, really close top 6. Oh, we have underbody damage. Now, is that going to cost us? I don't think it is, luckily, but it certainly could have done. Get the new fresh
have set us
set of
back a
boots
little.
on. We're going to take all the fuel out of the car. And, well, look at that. I mean, 3/10 separate the top 6. It is anybody's game. Mick Schumacher actually has the quickest first sector. Middle sector, we're pretty comparable with Max Verstappen. Third sector is where we lost a little bit of time on that particular lap. Perhaps the tyres just given up a little bit by that point. But the top 10 separated by 7.5 tenths of a second. And this is what I said. I said we'd have this much of a battle between all these teams, but it is going to be incredibly important where we start on the grid. We want to be top 3 at the very least. We want to beat Lewis Hamilton. So it is going to be a tough old time.
30 seconds left in the session.
Here we go then. On to our final lap. Final qualifying lap of Season 5, potentially of the series. And here we go. Can we get pole position? That's the big question. Not a great first sector, it has to be said. We are slightly up, but only slightly. Nearly lost it there, but we have gained a little bit of time through that corner now. Up the hill we go. No, wide it is, and sort of drop out of it because we didn't want to lose the lap time, but still a little bit up. Remember, it's our final sector where we need to make up the time, but we lose a tenth there. That's pretty good, and that's going to gain us time all the way up the hill. We're about a tenth up as we come up to the line. It's not going to be pole, but it is going to be second. Well, that was an awesome final lap, and we gained a tenth, lost a tenth in the middle sector. Perhaps we could have had it. I think we had another tenth on the table there.
Complete,
ooh, it would have been
so
close.
Top 3 today. Verstappen, the captain, and Charles Leclerc. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
So there you go, Max Verstappen takes pole position. A tenth and a little bit ahead of us in second. Charles Leclerc in third for Ferrari. He's had a very good end to the season. And Lewis Hamilton will start fourth, our title rival. But look how close it is. But we've done what we needed to do. We needed to out-qualify Lewis. We need to outscore him by 10 in the race, which is, you know, a distinct possibility. Because the likes of Ocon, because the likes of Perez, they're in there. They're in it to win it as well. They want to get themselves up the standings. And certainly Ferrari, if they have an excellent result, perhaps a 1-2, they could still get third in the Constructors' Championship. But we will just have to find out. We've got one more race this season, perhaps in the series. Haven't decided on a Season 6 just yet. But let's assume that we've got one final run at this championship. Here it is, the Season 5 Championship finale.
Welcome along then to the place where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner. And it's the place, a year later, that Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's Interlagos, and it's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and the captain completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Sergio Perez and Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Norris and George Russell, Gasly, Giovinazzi, Fernando Alonso and Latifi, Vettel, Stroll, Callum Ilott and Guan Yu Zhou, Lundgaard and Nikita Mazepin. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
So, we can go long on the soft tyres in this race. It does seem to be a quicker strategy than, you know, getting onto those mediums a little bit earlier. So, we're going to trust Jeff with the strategy. We're going to leave it in his hands, so to speak. It could rain a little bit later on. It is cloudy. I would expect that some rain might fall. It's going to be dramatic, I know that much. But here we are for the finale. Let's head out on our formation lap. And one advantage we do have is that we're on the inside.
Everything looks good on the power unit cycle, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
So we could very easily have a good start and get past Max Verstappen into the first corner. We are going to need an absolutely nailed start. That is definitely something we need, and something we don't get too often. One of the big disadvantages of using a controller rather than a wheel is that you do get those moments on the start where you just can't get a good one. We have had a few absolutely sensational starts, but
no rain expected. No rain expected for the time being.
We will see. Get these tyres nice and hot. We're going to let Verstappen go off into the distance and let his tyres cool down. We're going to make sure these tyres are as hot as possible. So here we come, lining up. Max Verstappen on pole, we're second. Charlie Leclerc is in third. We've then got Lewis Hamilton in fourth. Perez is in fifth, Ocon sixth, and then Schumacher seventh with, I believe, Yuki Tsunoda in eighth, and then Norris ninth, and
keep an eye on the lights.
George Russell in 10th, but here we go.
The grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
We are ready to go. Lights out, away we go here for the finale of Season 5, and we're underway well. We are underway very well. We've got to stay ahead of Lewis Hamilton. That's a dead cert. There is yellow flags out there, and it might even be Lewis Hamilton.
The safety car has just been deployed due to a build-up of
Surely
debris on
not.
the track.
No. Well, I need to see what happened into turn 1. Well, it wasn't. Hamilton was trapped behind us. It was Ocon down our inside. We kept it very, very clean into that first corner. And then, virtual safety car, of course. But I thought it was a full-blown safety car, so we can give it full beans a little bit. Try and catch up to Max, but well, Hamilton down to 6th as it stands. Remember, we need to outscore Lewis Hamilton by 10 points. And currently, we're outscoring him
Drop your
by
speed.
10
Our
points.
delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
So, Are they going to go full-blown safety car? Doesn't seem like it. Still out there.
VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
We are back underway in this Brazilian Grand Prix. And our job now is to chase after Max Verstappen. But Mick Schumacher up in 4th place. He's going to hold all the keys to this championship, you feel. Well, you joined me on lap 5 of this Grand Prix, and we are very much attacking the back of Max Verstappen's gearbox. We have been warned by Jeff that the energy store is getting worn, and that was the part that did explode on us in the Austrian Grand Prix earlier this season. So I hope that's not a bit of foreshadowing, but we are very much within the DRS zone of Max Verstappen. DRS is open. I don't think...
Keep pushing, you're gaining on the car ahead.
Don't think realistically we're gonna make the move just yet. We have already had our 2 corner cut warnings as well for pushing really, really hard on the exit of some corners, so we need to be making sure we're keeping it within the confines of the track. We are closing in on Max here though, but this is not somewhere that you want to overtake. If we stay that close out of the final corner, then we're going to have a great run. But we are quicker than Max Verstappen at this phase of the Grand Prix. That thing is for sure. Lewis Hamilton still not back into the top 5 just yet. We have also got the fastest lap of the race, so that's an extra point in our arsenal. This is the closest we've been yet. DRS is open. This has got to be our best chance so far. But we're not going to risk it because it could be championship over if we get it wrong. So we got to make sure that's the right moment. Well, this is a pretty good run on Max this time. But again, he goes to the inside. We don't want another incident like in Belgium. But this time we've got an excellent run. Up towards turn 4. We're going to have the outside line. He takes the inside and we just have to leave him the space. We couldn't risk it. But that's the thing. Verstappen has got absolutely nothing to lose today. Except perhaps a few fans. As it stands, we will be world champion, but we don't want to be world champion in 2nd place. That's for sure. This could be the time. This could very well be the time. We got DRS open. Verstappen squeezes us towards the inside, but we go for it. And we are into the lead of this Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton in the pit lane.
Lewis is in the pits.
But we have took the lead, and that was an awesome move. And look at this. We got right in his slipstream. We made sure of it. We went down the inside. And now we should be able to push on and stay ahead of Max Verstappen. We do seem to have the pace round here so far this weekend. But now, it's a totally different pressure staying in front, and Max Verstappen will certainly not be giving up behind either. It's whether we come in and cover off Lewis Hamilton's pit stop. Well, he's probably not going to have enough to completely undercut us. So, just stay out there, stick to the plan. So we're coming into the pits this lap. Very important pit entry now. A little bit slower than we'd usually go, just to make absolutely certain that we got in. We may well fall behind Max here.
Go, go, go.
Here comes Max on the pit straight. Hamilton, meanwhile, where's he up to?
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Verstappen is there on the outside. And he has undercut us, so he's actually gained out of that. But Verstappen is on the hard tyre, so you've got to suspect that we are going to be a lot quicker than him. But I must admit, it's a little bit disappointing. It shows that our cautious pit entry did cost us a little bit, but you can see how much quicker we are in these tight sections. I've got to just keep it smooth through there, but we've got to get another on-track overtake done here, which was not part of the plan. And we've got the inside line this time. And that was a lot more straightforward than the first on-track overtake. Whew. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Verstappen potentially having another look. Decides against it. So now we should be able to push on, particularly through the middle sector. Get out of that 1 second window. Well, we've set a couple of consecutive fastest laps now. We are absolutely flying out there. But what is interesting is that Lewis Hamilton is behind Charles Leclerc, who's also on the hard tyres. And if Hamilton manages to finish 5th with the fastest lap, that would be enough to beat us by 1 point. So it is important that we're out in front. Well, actually no, forget what I'm saying. I'm basing that off us being in 2nd, but no. As you were, if we win the race, at the moment, Lewis Hamilton needs to finish 3rd, at the very least. But even then, we'd win on countback, so Lewis Hamilton currently needs to get back up to 2nd in this Grand Prix, so perhaps we don't need to push quite as hard as I once thought. 3 laps to go in this World Championship. Okay then, here we go. We are starting the final lap of this Grand Prix and of this championship and of the series. We
This is
are
your final lap. Final lap of the
absolutely
race.
flying out there. We have been on form all weekend. Stuck at second on the grid. It was a very good lap time. That got us there. We were close to defeating Max Verstappen for that. We've had a race-long battle with Max Verstappen. A couple of really good on-track overtakes. We kept it clean at the start. It has just been the perfect end to the season for us. Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, he lost positions at the start and he's struggled to make it back through. Surely it's not going to be 2008 V2. We are coming round. We've got to keep it in the confines of the track. And if we keep it straight after this corner, which we have done, we're going to come up to the line. And we're going to complete a double for Mercedes. Drivers and Constructors Championship double. And our second
Hey Jeff,
World
thanks for your work this
Championship.
weekend. Well done, mate. Team effort. Thanks to all the boys.
Fantastic drive, and it means your driver's world champion. What a result. Enjoy it.
It's certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. They've done it then. Victory in the last race of the season and the championship as well. What a phenomenal end to a terrific Formula One season. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. The captain takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Difficult call, but I'd like to say Esteban Ocon. He's just so gifted at getting the most out of his tyres, and he showed that today.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, there you have it then. An awesome victory at the end from second on the grid, and it turned out that the tyre selection kind of decided it in the end, because Verstappen was a lot slower in that second stint, but we did make the overtake before the first pit stops. We had a great race with Verstappen, really enjoyed that. But we do it. We've won the World Championship. We've won it by 8 points in the end over Lewis Hamilton, who finishes in second. Max Verstappen takes third in the drivers' standings. Ocon fourth. Gasly an excellent fifth. Leclerc finishes sixth with Norris in seventh. Perez 8th, Mick Schumacher 9th, and Yuki Tsunoda rounds out the top 10. Antonio Giovinazzi starts off at P11, Russell in 12th, Latifi 13th. They'll be disappointed. They had a quick car this year at Williams and didn't make the most of that. Zhou Guanyu finishes 14th in the driver's standings. He got 8 points on his debut back in Australia, or at least the first race of the season. Wasn't Australia, it was Imola, and didn't score any more for the rest of the year. Fernando Alonso only down in 15th, beaten comprehensively this season by Antonio Giovinazzi. Nikita Mazepin finishes down in 16th, Vettel 17th, Stroll 18th, Eilert in 19th, and Christian Lundgaard rounds out the Drivers' Championship. In the Constructors then, Mercedes win out ahead of Red Bull, 69 points the gap in the end. AlphaTauri, a brilliant third place for them. Ferrari 4th, McLaren in 5th, Williams 6th, which is an improvement on at least being the back team. Alpine only 7th, considering they had a pretty quick car, certainly early on in the season. Alfa Romeo finishing 8th, Haas 9th, and Aston Martin prop up the tables. So there it is then. We win the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and we win with it the championship. This was the start, and it was very, very clean off the line. And you can see towards turn 1, it's all very, very clean. And Hamilton just lost out, didn't he? That was the thing. Hamilton lost out there. And then it was virtual safety cars. But that... Should we watch it from Hamilton's onboard? This was the key This was the key moment, really. If we watch it from onboard Hamilton's car, you can see he actually gets a very, very good getaway off the grid, and he's having a look at us. Potentially gets boxed in. You can see how clean we were through turn 1. Yeah, Hamilton just caught on the curbs a little bit as well, and that was Leclerc around the outside, and he was caught out by the virtual safety car. I think he'd have been back past Leclerc there. The virtual safety car meant he couldn't do it, and that was him for the rest of the race, really. See, as we go through the laps, Hamilton just stuck behind. He even stopped a lap earlier than Charles Leclerc to try and jump him, but couldn't manage it. Stayed ahead of Perez, but as he comes round, you'll see Charles Leclerc pop out there, and that would have been that sinking feeling, because he's gone from being half a second down to being a long way down. And then round out the race, he just couldn't get close enough. Got close pretty much every lap. It was just stuck. I suppose that was the closest he got, and this was the last lap for Hamilton. He will have tried absolutely everything, but by this point I think he was probably a bit disheartened. Yeah, couldn't get close. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc held on. Mick Schumacher, brilliant 4th place for him. Ocon there in 3rd. He had a good race. Verstappen wasn't quite as quick as us, and then we came round, and this was the end of the season to end all seasons. And we won the Grand Prix. We won the championship. Verstappen finished 2nd there. Ocon in 3rd. Schumacher comes over the line 4th. Then Leclerc and Hamilton finishes in 5th place. And that was the end of the season. So let's see what the media have to say after that.
First of all, congratulations. You must be thrilled. You're leading the championship. Are you happy to be there or feeling the pressure? It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? Great. Well, that's everything.
Not a lot, apparently. Well, there you go. That is the end of Season 5. We beat Lando Norris in the rivalry. Let's see where we could go for next season. We will have to sort out contracts and stuff. Let's just see where the season break takes us. That'll be all the way to the end of the year. We'll see if any of the other teams develop. We'll get all the way up to contract renewal date. there it is. 30,000 R&D points. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But there you go. You can see the top 3 teams absolutely dead equals. McLaren there in 4th. Williams in 5th. It's all looking very, very tempting to stay on for a 6th season. But I don't think we will. I think we will move on to pastures new now and leave this on a high. We finally won that Constructors title. We won the Drivers title for the 2nd time, which is great. We had a wonderful final season with 5 victories in there, plenty of pole positions as well. And you can see our final driver details there. 2 Drivers' Championship. It says 4 Constructors. That's not true. We have only won 1 Constructors title, but Mercedes as a team have won 4. 10 pole positions, 733 points with 11 race victories, 26 podium finishes, and an average finish of 8th, which is our race number, which is cool. And an average grid position of 9th. Miles driven, 10,275, 14 fastest laps, and 2,559 laps driven. It really has been a fabulous series, and I really do appreciate all of the support on it. 80 episodes in the end, or pretty much 80. 82 I think it was in the end, but that is by far my longest F1 series, but there'll be plenty more F1 videos coming out up until the new game. Of course, we've got the F1 Manager 2022 coming out in the summer, which I'm really looking forward to, but I am going to go back and play a classic F1 game for a little bit, and that will be in the Monday and Friday slot. It's not any of the Codemasters games. We are going to be playing a career mode in an old classic, which I've been really wanting to play recently, so we will get on with that, and that will take us hopefully up to the new game. But thank you very much for all of your support on this series. If you have enjoyed this final episode, then make sure you give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.